So real quick,
Yeah.
take about 30 seconds and just catch the audience up on what you've been up to since the last episode.
Oh my goodness.
30
So we are
seconds.
going straight into it. What have I been up to since the last episode? It's been 2 years. I
20
no longer
seconds.
live in Florida. Oh God, I no longer live in Florida. I moved to Chicago. I am a single man, and I don't know what else to say. Go, your turn.
I got Taco Bell last week. That was pretty good.
That's it. Well, I did the same.
Mm, yeah.
Hmm.
It's, that volcano box is back, baby.
Oh, you got that. I've never had that before.
You never had the volcano?
Doesn't it have rice in it though, the
Yeah.
burrito? So I
Yeah.
don't like the rice in Taco Bell burritos. I gravitate toward the non-rice-ish stuff. I love
Huh.
rice, but it just doesn't taste good to me.
Hmm. Oh yeah, I had a kid too.
Oh, not at Taco Bell.
Not at Taco Bell. The baby did not show up at Taco Bell. Mm-mm.
Oh, you
Mm-mm.
do have a child now.
I had a food baby, if you know what I mean. Rup, 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 rup.
Yeah,
Um,
baby.
yeah, had a
It's
kid.
been a long time.
Yeah, the last
Let's
recording came out. I think a lot of people
Did you
probably
look?
thought that this podcast was dead. It
Yeah.
was. I mean, like, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
sit here and pretend it wasn't. But yeah, the last time we recorded was or had an episode out was I believe May of 2021.
Yeah, we
Um,
made a lot of excuses. I remember.
we
Well,
did.
they were good excuses. No, I mean, your wife was pregnant, and I got laid off, and then we moved to Florida, and then we just forgot
Just
about it.
life, just life, you know.
Life, yeah. But
But
for the people at home, Matt and I never stopped talking 1 minute. I still text this man every single day, so we just stopped recording ourselves.
yeah, no drama there. No, no juicy tea to spill. But
Nope.
well, figured let's kick this thing back up and
Yeah.
have a good time doing it. I actually, it's funny because I was like
Mm,
doing some like podcast research work for my work. And like I was looking at hosting platforms. I went back to our hosting platform and I
mm,
hadn't looked at the analytics of like, listenership or anything like that since 2021. And this was like
mhm.
last month. And I saw that like in the past week we'd had like a dozen or so listeners, like unique listeners. I'm like, people are actually
What?
still listening to like a 2-year-old podcast episode. So
Wow.
like, hey,
Well,
if
thanks
people are
for
still on
listening.
board, yeah, yep. I
Yeah,
mean, whoever you are, maybe a
whoever
bot,
you are.
maybe some
It's
very lost people. I don't know,
it's
but
Chat GPT, and he's just listening along.
it's the damn AI
It's the damn
trying to better itself based on our work.
based on
Man,
our work.
somebody's gonna ask it to write like a podcast script about one hit
Oh
wonders.
man.
Um,
You were just telling me today, guys, if you don't know this, you can go to Spotify and Matt texts me this morning and says, type in DJ under playlists. And I do that on Spotify. And I click the thing, and this AI goes, hey Nolan, and starts like talking to me and then plays one of my favorite songs. And I'm like, I don't like this. I don't.
yeah, yeah, it was a little creepy. Because I got the same thing, and I just clicked the DJ
Mhm.
button. It was like, "Hey, what's going on, Matt? I'm your personal DJ, Xavier, and I'm gonna be spinning you all the things that you like." And he's like, I see the kinks, I see it." And then like
I
he went
see
on
the
to talk,
kinks.
and then like later he's like, "Yeah, yeah, we were talking about the kinks earlier. We'll start you off with that. I'm gonna change it up every couple tracks just to keep you on your toes or whatever he said." I was like, "Yeah,
Hmm.
okay."
I didn't, the thing I didn't appreciate the most about it is that in the last week, for fun, I listened to two Chris Stapleton songs because
Ooh.
I just wanted to belt out Tennessee whiskey like you do.
Mhm.
And it goes, hey Nolan, I saw that you listened to a couple of country songs. Here's some Sam Hunt. And I'm like, no,
Oh
God.
no.
I know. I know.
Man, that's such an interesting conversation that I would love to have. Probably not today, but I think
Yeah.
it's very worth talking about the idea of like curated music and what platforms like Spotify have done to
Yeah.
the general listening public and also people like us who will search for stuff and like have very, I guess, eclectic tastes and they're kind of all over the place, but like
Yeah.
just how like I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like I'm becoming more and more willing to just give in to whatever it recommends to me every day. I'm like, you know best. I'm talking to the machine and saying, you know me best. And
You
that's
there.
just such a strange thought. And it makes the discovery of new music very difficult and very like it will recommend new music, but it's like that's not anything. I didn't decide that in any way. I wasn't
Right. It's not.
exposed to this music. It was just like, we're gonna tell you
Yeah.
what you're gonna like now.
I feel like there was a sense of reward you would get
Mm,
when you found like a record, like when we went to Mojo's back in Tampa and found a couple of, records and one that I hadn't heard before.
mhm.
Like when you do that, you have this, it's kind of like almost a sense of ownership or whatever. But when you find something new nowadays, I don't know. I feel like I've skipped songs that I would have been in awe of, or I would have
Mhm.
been like stoked on, but it came
Yeah,
too easy to me, maybe. So I
right.
may have like skipped it. But it's been a long time. How did we used to do this? What did
Well,
we
yeah. I mean, might as well head back to the formula that we did on the last episode, which was very recent. If you're listening
Yeah.
in sequence. So yeah, we start this off. Tell me about something you've been listening to this week.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, well, there's no I guess I'm not embarrassed anymore of liking this artist so much. If you've listened to the podcast in the past, you know that we've talked about Scott Stapp of Creed before, but and it pisses me off sometimes because sometimes I'll poke fun at him and I'll poke fun at Creed, even though there's great music that Creed's released. It's not at all the vibe what I listen to these days. I listen to very heavy music and it's all over the place, but it's usually not Creed-esque. But Scott Stapp released a single and it's called Higher Power and it's so good. Yeah, so like I get maybe you can that's not like all of his music, but the drums and like the way the guitars are, it's kind of heavy. And so I was vibing out to it and I memorized the chorus? Yes, I have. And have I been playing it in the car every time that I drive for the past week? Yes. So it's it's
Oh boy, like
it is what it is.
I
Okay.
think I would equate it to something like, you watch Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3 for all the
Yes.
wrong reasons, but when you watch it enough and you talk about it enough, at a certain point when you're watching it, it becomes thoroughly enjoyable and
Yes.
unironically fun to you. Or, like kind of the ups and downs and the peaks and valleys of a Shrek, where when Shrek first came out, everyone loved Shrek and it was the greatest, like funniest movie. And then
Yeah.
once the internet had its way with it, it became a meme and it was like
Hmm.
Shrek's ironically funny, but it's not really funny. And now it's kind of back to that, like, hey, you know what? It's actually a good flick, you
It's a
know?
good flick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would equate Scott Stapp to that same metric of he is a very silly man with silly lyrics and silly songs, but
Yes.
boy is it fun to listen to
It
on a
is.
level that is not ironic. It is
That's
just
how it feels. That's a
powerful.
yeah, you hit the nail on the head. For the longest time, I talked so much shit about Scott Stapp, and we'll talk about like his very public breakdown or all that crap. And then he goes and puts out like music, and you're like, all right,
Mm,
it's it's good.
it is good. I mean,
So
you can't deny it.
yeah,
Like
that's what's
I
happening.
I fight it. I really do. I
I
fight it
thought
all the time.
I
Yeah.
try to as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what I've been listening to is some Scott motherfucking Stapp. What have you been listening to recently,
Yeah, so
Pat?
I had the opportunity over the past couple months to try and put myself back in the Nashville music scene. As we stated earlier, some things got in the way of that over the past year or so. But I'm finally kind of back in that position where I feel like, the kid's a little older. I can kind of get a little free time back. So all that to say, I met a fellow who is a local Nashville artist named Nick Harley, and I was able to, very lucky to get on some shows with him as a drummer, kind of some fill-in spots. But he's super good. I mean, I found him online, and I didn't have any intention on playing with him. I just wanted to reach out to him and let him know that, hey, he's got himself a new fan, and that if he ever did, I couldn't make the originally scheduled show. So I said, I would love to play, but can't work out that way. But I just really like your music. Just wanted you to know that if you ever do need somebody, just give me a shout. And then sure enough, the show got rescheduled. So I was able to play that show with him and a couple other shows. But yeah, Nick Harley.
So smooth.
Yeah, just really fun, like indie folky music. A lot of the stuff that we played was very much on the like almost bluegrass kind of side. And like he's a super diverse songwriter, really strong lyrics, and it was a great time playing with him. But that's just one of the many things I've been listening to. If you want to check out more, it's Nick Harley, and the album is called Easy Moon. So dig in, support your small time artists because they are really worth listening to.
Absolutely.
Anyways, let's move on to our topic here.
One strike. Here we go. I knew you'd be back with the soundboard. That's a new one too. One strike. Oh God.
Pizza time. All right. So today we are sorry, I don't think we even threw this in at the intro.
Yeah, we didn't do our normal intro.
Probably lost 3/4 of any potential new audience here. But if you've stuck with us this long, this show is called One Hit No Wonder, and the idea or the premise or the plots or whatever you want to call it of the show is that each week we take two artists known for their one hit wonder, and we listen to the songs. We pit them up against each other. We listen to the artist's next most popular songs, and we judge them, and we send them to trial, and we put them on like that scene in Dark Knight Rises where Scarecrow is like the judge, jury, and executioner, and sending everybody to the frozen ice. That's what we do to this music. Exile, yeah. We do that to this music, and we decide who is more deserving of the one hit wonder title. So this week is no exception. We've got some, in my opinion, like two hot ones here.
Heavy hitters.
Two heavy strong hitters. Yes. For a comeback, I wanted to make sure that we had some solid stuff to throw. So this week we're going to be talking about the Proclaimers, known for their song "I'm Gonna Be" or 500 Miles, and the band Lips Inc., known for their song "Funkytown."
Oh, Funkytown!
Very excited to dig into it. Where do you want to start with this one?
These are some bops. I think I would like to start with Lips Incorporated.
Lips Incorporated. Let us begin with the band Lips, double P. That's two P's.
Two P's.
Incorporated. Don't call them Lips Inc. Their name is not a play on lip sync at all.
No.
Yeah.
So, oh wow, I didn't realize lip sync. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you know about these guys?
I don't. That's what I know. We were discovering this. As we were prepping for the episode not 20 minutes ago, which is all the prep we put into the episode. I looked at the title and I realized this is that song that's in commercials or in like movies. Because I was remembering I was remembering the "Take Me to Funkytown." I remembered that part, but then it hit me as I looked at the actual just looked at the song title. This is that beep 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 song. So that's all I know about that. I know nothing. So I've got their Wikipedia page pulled up. I'm doing research on the fly. So I'm excited to I don't think I know the next most popular song at all. So it's gonna be interesting.
Cool. All right. Well, let's check out Funkytown. I'll say right off the bat, if you don't know, this is a disco song. This is a
Mm,
very popular chart-topping disco song from, I believe, 1980,
wow.
and it is in like, this is not a joke. It is one of my favorite songs ever written. Um,
Really?
yeah. So let's well, I'll talk about it more after, but let's take a listen
Okay.
to Funky Town.
Oh, yeah. No wonder that is a hit.
I mean, come on, it doesn't get much better than
Wow,
that. Like,
it's very good.
I think pretty hands down. Like, disco is a trend that, yeah, I think overall I'm glad it died. It did sort of wear out its welcome, but there were some solid songs,
Yeah.
singles, hits in the disco era. I mean, you're talking like, your BJ's, BJ's, your BG's.
BJ's.
You got your BJ's.
You got a couple of BJ's. Oh, that's
You got your
good.
BGs. Thinking about like the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack. I really do have a soft
Oh
spot
yeah.
for disco, and
Yeah.
I would make the argument that Funky Town is the greatest disco track ever written.
Wow.
I think that just that octave, like, driven bass, like
Oh,
on the
it's great.
synth there, the boop 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 boop, and
Yep.
then, like,
Yep.
the weird, like, key change into the chorus. It's like, we're gonna just like move down now, everything's gonna drop out, and then we got that, like,
Right.
oh, that nasty guitar, the
Well, what I noticed was the percussion.
mhm.
It was it cowbells that are just getting destroyed. Yeah, they just keep going.
Yeah,
It's a four on the floor. You just
mhm,
got so many fun little elements. Every bit of
yeah,
it make me want to dance. And
yeah,
so I was
yeah.
doing a little
There's a lot of
I was hmm,
a lot of
I was doing
space in the
crip
song
walk.
for sure. A lot of like, just room to, like, your
Mhm.
body is filling in the gaps there, and I mean, yeah, you
Mhm.
can't help but dance to it. It's a
Can't help but
fantastic
dance.
track. It is legitimately one of my favorite songs. Years ago, I was in a band that kind of had this song. It was very, like, psychedelic, like, driving song, but in the, like, about 2 minutes in the song, it switched to this very, like, disco centric beat, like, this
Mm.
like a very similar thing, and the bass
Yeah.
line did this kind of very similar bass riff, and I always thought, like, if we did that song live, how fun would it be to just, like, carry on that drum beat and that bass riff until it bleeds
Oh
into, like, a
yeah.
cover of Funky Town, because it sounds like
Oh
the outro to
man.
that and intro to this sound just the same. I'm like, oh, that would be such a crowd pleaser to pull off something like that.
Oh my
um
god. That would have been great. That's
yeah,
such a good idea. It's such a good song. But
it is really
so
good
that's
song.
top tier. So I wonder
Yeah.
why these guys got labeled as a one-hit wonder. Like they can't how do you go from that to making something that maybe not is not good?
Well, I've never listened to Designer Music, which is their second most popular song according to Spotify. And just to give you a breakdown of that, Funky Town,
Mm.
the single version, currently has 327 million plays on Spotify. Designer
Oh.
Music, and I pulled the radio edit for this one because
Oh.
the non-radio edit is 6 minutes long, and this track is only 3.5 minutes. So
Okay.
similar to Funky Town, which I did know this, the album version or the extended version of Funky Town is a lot more of that, that
Mm.
drum and bass that I was talking about. Um,
Uh-huh.
a lot longer intro. So I wonder
Oh.
if it's the same thing here with this track Designer Music, but I did pull the short version, but that has 10 million plays. So
10 million. Is this the same? It can't be the same record. Let's
it
see.
looks like it's off a different record.
Funkytown.
So I think
Oh,
Funkytown was just a single. I don't know if it ever made it to any studio albums. They only released 3 studio albums
wow.
in their time together. And the only consistent member was the lead vocalist Cynthia Johnson. And there was
I
an
see.
ever changing, ever revolving group of session musicians that would come in and out of the band. I will
Kind of
say
like
this,
jazz. Yeah.
kind of like jazz. Do
Yeah.
you like jazz?
Do you like jazz?
I will say this, scroll down on Spotify to the band's
Mm.
picture, you know, like the little about section on Spotify.
Oh, okay, let me scroll down. Oh,
Scroll
hell.
down,
Good
look
Lord.
look at this group of people. Like if you expand that picture, there are
I am looking at it.
there are 70s people. Like 4 of them are like the coolest looking people you've ever seen. And then
Yeah.
there's like a super short, like Woody Allen looking white guy with like
Yeah, I see him.
balding and a fro and these big glasses. And then there's like this monster giant man standing next to him.
Yeah, and then there's Bruno
And
Mars
then
right
there's
next to
Bruno
him.
Mars right next to him.
Golly. This
It
is
is.
insane. Yeah, if you have a second to look on Spotify, scroll down on Lips Inc. and just check that picture out. We'll
You
post
got
it. I'll,
to
I'll take a screen cap of it and post it.
you got Eddie Murphy second from the right over there. In his early days before he made it big on SNL, he was a
Oh
member of
no.
Lip Sync.
Of Lip Sync, yeah.
Um,
Wow.
but yeah, I want to hear Designer Music.
Yeah,
Should we listen to it?
give me some of that.
All right, let's check it out.
Everywhere you go, lights flash. All you gotta have is the cash. Buy it if you're able. It's got to have a label. Designer music. Designer music. I don't even know.
Okay. Um,
Oh, that was great.
what are our thoughts on that one?
Well, my first thought when it kicks in, does it not remind you of a band called Sunseed? Jesus is a friend of mine.
Oh my god. Oh my
That's what
lord.
made I immediately went there and I was like, this seems like it is a product of the late 80s, early 90s. Just
Yeah.
your hey, we want Christian music to be good and fun for the children. That's where my mind went at first. But the
Fun for
the
the children.
vocals were shocking when they came in. I was
Yeah.
a little alarmed. And then just the belting out of designer music. I
Mhm.
can tell why this is if this is the best they've got, second to Funkytown,
It makes
I think
sense.
it makes some sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely not the strongest track I've ever heard. It
Mm.
sounded to me the first thing I got like, yeah, the Jesus is a friend of mine. Comparison is so good. What I kind of got from that was
Mm.
somebody like learning a piano riff and not exactly getting it right. Like they were still working on it because it just didn't sound like a cohesive like piano part. It sounded like somebody was like,
Oh
"Oh
man.
crap, let me do that. Hang on,
Hold on. One more time. One more time.
wait a minute."
Yeah, it seemed very simple. Uh
Yeah,
like there what the elements in Funkytown are like laid out well and
yeah,
and all of that. But then this one, there's also those similar kinds of elements, but it seems almost as if your nephew is playing you a song that he wrote on the keyboard and
yeah,
recorded it, you know?
yeah,
And he's like, I wrote a song, and you're like, hey buddy, play it for me. And then that's what he happened. You just, you're like, good job, dude. Just keep working.
yeah. Just hey man, keep working at it.
Keep
You're
working
gonna
at
be
it.
you're gonna be a star someday, man.
Yeah.
And then the
So
next
I
week
mean,
he's like into Legos, you know.
he's into Legos. Yeah. I think in no way do I think that that it's a bad song. I just
It's not. It's not a bad song. The
I
vocals really
yeah.
carry it. Uh,
Yeah.
pretty decent beat. I mean, I would pop it on if this was on in the car. I wouldn't change it. If I was like scrolling through stations or whatever, and I was
Sure.
tired of scrolling, and this was on, I'd be like, all right, I'll leave it on this. That's fine.
Yeah, it makes you
It's
smile.
it makes you smile. It puts a smile on your face. It's unexpected, you know, compared
Mhm.
to the almost amateur piano. The vocals come in, and then you got those pretty sick harmonies in the chorus. That's
Sick harmonies. Hell yeah.
sick harmonies. Lips.
Super lips.
Hey, lips.
Put
Hey,
on some lips,
hey,
dude.
hey, put on some. You're at like a party. It's like, hey, put on some lips, bro.
I'm gonna put some lip. They're like, who?
What?
What?
Lip sync, man.
Lips Inc. Your lip sync? No, never
Come on,
mind.
dude. Lips Incorporated, bro.
Lips Incorporated, man.
Funkytown, but don't play Funkytown, man. No hits. Come on.
I don't want hits today.
Come on, designer music, bro. Okay. Is this your
Music by
nephew?
design. Is this your nephew? Yeah, this is my nephew.
This is my nephew. Lip sync.
He's here. He's here. Let me pull him up.
He's here. He's here. I brought him to the party. Okay.
Now you'd want to meet him.
No, you guys would want to meet him.
Hey, give me a beer, buddy.
He's 12. All right.
He's 12.
Okay, so let's
Okay.
move on to
Yeah.
the Proclaimers. Ooh.
I like the
Because-
Proclaimers a good bit.
Mhm.
They're a
It's hard
fun
not to.
time. Well, it's hard not to. I'm excited to relive and re-listen to "I'm Gonna Be."
Yeah.
Was this song also in Shrek?
It was not in Shrek. No.
I thought it.
The-
Okay.
Their second most popular one, which we'll talk about in a minute, was
Okay.
definitely in Shrek.
It's in Shrek. I couldn't
is
remember.
in
I feel
Shrek.
like this one should have been in Shrek because they did a lot of
Probably.
walking.
It's in quite a bit of media, I would say, movies
Media.
and
Yeah.
shows. My wife and I walked down the aisle to this song after we got
That's
married.
right. Oh, that was
So
such a
this was
good
on our-
choice.
This was on our wedding playlist.
Yeah, I'm watching them get married. I'm standing next to Matt. They do the kiss. It's beautiful. Now pronounce that, and then this song just starts popping up. Bump, 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 bump. You know, and they walk down the aisle. It was iconic.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So, in case you don't know who the Proclaimers are, they are a Scottish rock duo consisting of two twin brothers.
They're twins?
Not four twin brothers, just two.
Oh.
Yeah, they
wow.
are twins. Craig and Charlie Reed.
Wow.
And they were formed in 1983. Yeah, they're that old. So this song came out, I believe, sometime in the
Wow.
mid-90s or the early 90s. Boy, I can't tell you when this song came out.
Let's see. I've
definitely
got it
some
pulled
other-
up here. The 1988 follow-up album, Sunshine on Leaf, had this song on it.
Okay.
So,
So
let's-
1988. That is earlier than I thought.
88,
I
yeah.
totally thought this was a 90s song. That's pretty fascinating.
Well, that
But-
makes sense because we did 80s. We're just on the broad spectrum. Funkytown came out in 80. So this is Sunshine on Leaf came out in 88.
Okay. So
Okay.
little 8-year gap there. I would say disco was definitely dead by this point. But I would be curious to listen to the whole album here because I never have listened. I've only ever listened to these two songs. But
I
let's
haven't
play a little
either.
bit of I'm Gonna Be for the heck of it. Bring people back a little
For
bit.
the
You know
heck
the
of it.
song. You've heard it. Come on.
Yeah, yeah.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. If I get drunk, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who gets drunk next to you. And if I haver, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's havering to you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm walking, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who's working hard for you.
That just revs your engine, doesn't it?
Man, it doesn't get much better than that.
Oh,
That's a great tune.
Is an
I like
absolute classic.
the high notes. Yeah, and walk.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
so good and tasty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big
I love
fan.
the end harmony. So I'll play a little bit from the end here just to because I
Yeah,
gotta hear that.
I need to.
Voice breaks a little bit there.
Oh, that's nice.
Come on.
I didn't realize the guy he alternated his
Yeah.
points for the
Yeah.
harmony.
That's my favorite part of the song when he's just kind of like saying every other word, like he's just
Yeah.
da da who ah send. So
That's
good.
good stuff. It's a great song. That we didn't talk about charting. I'll go back after we're done
Yeah.
with Sunshine on Leaf here in these two songs. But as far as charting goes, what have we got? I'm gonna be went number 1 in Australia and New Zealand. So that's big. It was number 1. And so as a lot of these hits, the hits are, they go crazy. So I'm interested to hear the second most popular and then look and see where that charted as well.
What did
'Cause-
this chart in the US?
Let me see. I don't think they
Number
got
3.
Did
US
you find
Billboard
it?
Hot
Number
100,
3.
number 3. Yeah.
There you go. Peaked. Well, yeah, number 3 at Hot 100. That was in '93. So this record was around for 5 years. I wonder why it took 5 years for it to. Maybe it was just traversing the ocean.
That's why I think it's a 90s. That's why I thought it was a 90s song because it probably didn't make its way over to the US until 93.
Yeah,
no
that
one
makes
was
sense.
talking about it back in 88.
Got
Makes
it.
a lot of sense.
The internet
Weird how
wasn't a
music
thing.
used to work that way. Yeah.
I
Before the
know.
internet.
Makes it on over here and goes crazy. Well, that means that you've got a hit. If it's a hit there and a hit there, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. So their second track that we're going to listen to here is I'm on My Way. And just to give you an idea of the Spotify plays,
Oh yeah.
I'm going to be currently sits at 647 million plays, which is about double what the Funkytown was.
Okay.
And I'm on My Way sits at 55 million plays. So definitely not bad.
No, yeah.
Any artist would be lucky to have 55 million on their top song. So
Still
for a second
massive.
song, not so bad. It is on the same album, Sunshine on the Leaf. So let's take a look at I'm on My Way. And maybe you'll recognize this one too if, like us, you grew up in the Shrek era.
There it is.
I'm on my way from misery to happiness today. I'm on my way from misery to happiness today. I'm on my way to what I want from this world. And years from now, you'll make it to the next world. And everything that you receive up yonder is what you give to me today. I wonder. I took a right turning yesterday.
There's the harmony again.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of good harmonies there.
I
from these,
love the
these two
piano.
fellas, these two brothers.
Yeah. I think that's
very
also
much
a solid track.
It is solid. It's very much a roots rock, like kind of thing that you would hear over in America, like just that. Like, some bar out in the desert would be playing something like this, but this is just happier than that. I don't know. It's got a very optimistic, happy feeling to it.
You know, I wonder if in the making of Shrek, because there was a lot of walking, I wonder if they were like, oh, we're doing I'm Gonna Be. And then some super fan of the Proclaimers was like, guys, I've got a better song that's just about walking, but better.
Same
I'm
band.
on my way. Same band.
Same band.
Same record.
Same record. It's just better.
But,
it's a better walking song.
It's a better walking song. You go walking on Sunday, you listen to this band. This band really liked to put one foot in front of the other.
these
I don't know.
guys, good walkers. These guys.
Good walkers. Grab your walkers and put your shoes on. I enjoyed. I think for me, it's quite clear. But as far as the charting goes for the second most, I'm on my way. Let's see, what did it do? Reaching number 2. Good Lord. It was well,
Wow.
I guess that was the
Where?
album. My fault. It's not and I'm on my way. Let's see. Oh, I'm on my way was also number 1. That's how it reads. The
Ah.
singles I'm gonna be.
Mhm.
And I'm on my way. It looked like both of them went number 1. The album was huge in Australia. It says that it was the 12th biggest seller, reaching number 2. It's attained multi-platinum, 2 times multi-platinum certification. That's a big record.
Dang. That's wow.
It's a lot of sales.
That's a lot of sales.
Uh yeah.
Well,
Good night.
hey, good for them. When I think about like one hit wonders and bands like this that kind of just did their hit and faded off into oblivion.
Yeah.
I wonder like what kind of position they're in, like money wise. Like
Well,
was
let's
that
put it
a
this
big
way.
enough hit to keep them comfy for the rest of their lives?
If so I looked into it. They released a record in 2022. They released their 16th, I believe.
Wow.
They're continuing to make music, which is awesome. But platinum, if you're not aware, listening and not aware, what does that word mean? That means that your record, your album or single has sold over 1 million copies, and they went 2 times platinum. So 2 million copies. Like, and you're a duo. I mean, I get you
Mhm.
got to pay your band, right? You got to pay your
Sure.
people on tour, but they were probably not only playing small little theaters. I can imagine,
Yeah.
can't imagine these guys weren't playing, I don't know, arenas maybe or something like that for some time. Maybe they're playing theaters now.
Oh yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
sure they got some good coin out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I also wonder like what is their audience like now? You go to see a Proclaimers or a I don't know Dexy's Midnight Runners or something, and like everyone just wants the hit, right? They all just want this song. How many people
sure,
are patient enough to like wait for it? And
to
like
wait for it.
I've heard of bands that are like, hey, we know you're here for this song, so we're gonna do that first. And then
Yeah,
sometimes they have to like ask kindly, like,
space
hey,
out the
stick
hits.
around. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, like, but no one knows any of your other songs, so it's like, what do you put it? Do you put it at the top of the playlist, or do you wait until the end? Do you keep everybody waiting, and by
yeah.
which point maybe you've lost them?
The
How do you
vast
handle that?
majority in the crowd are there for the hit, but I'm sure that there are some super fans that know all of the songs that they play.
I'm sure.
There's got to be. I mean, but that's a big deal. Going backwards though,
Mhm.
well, was there anything else you wanted to say about them Proclaimers?
No, I've proclaimed enough.
You've proclaimed enough. I think I have too. I wanted to talk about the charting of Funkytown and Designer Music. Both songs came out in '80. Funkytown was number 1, also number 1 song. It reached silver certification, which silver doesn't really show up. Like I looked up what silver means, and the wiki on certification starts at gold. So I imagine silver is probably like 250 or maybe 100,000
Mhm.
sales or something like that. But it's number 1 US dance number 1, Australia number 1. It's a lot of number 1s across the board. Designer music though,
Mhm.
it only peaked in US dance, and it only peaked at 11. That's the only
Ooh.
place that it shows charting.
Yeah, that
Uh,
makes sense.
that makes sense from listening to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what are your impressions? What are you thinking?
I think we need to bring disco back.
I
I
think
think
we do
it's
too.
time. I mean, I
Mhm.
think disco has had sort of a resurgence. Obviously, you've got a lot of artists out there now who are taking tremendous influence or even rewriting
Mhm.
disco songs to make it their own. But I would
Yeah,
love like an original disco band.
a disco band.
It just like goes all in with the aesthetic and the style and everything like that. Because, like I said,
Yeah.
like you got dance artists, you got electronic artists, and all of that was kind of like influenced by disco. But I would just love like a full on disco band. I'm right now.
Mhm.
I already said this. Funkytown is one of my favorite songs of all time. Period. End of story.
Right.
Uh, I'm a sucker for the dance hit that consists of, usually an octave driven bass line, that's
The synth.
simplistic in nature. Yeah. Like
Mhm.
that synth, like very low end synth, and
Yeah.
then like sparing guitars, but they're funky as hell when they come in, and just super strong vocals. Like they just like soar into the stratosphere. And
Mm.
that's what lip sync is able to do here. And
Mm.
Cynthia, I forgot her name. Oh my goodness, Cynthia Johnson. Like I think it's such a fantastic song. I love that mix. I mean, some of my favorite bands do that, i.e., of Montreal. You think of Kevin Barnes in a song like
Yeah.
Grunlandic Edit, same
Yeah.
thing, right?
Soaring.
Soaring vocals over top of very simplistic drum and bass line. It's just something about it. I'm a sucker for it.
Mhm.
So if you're gonna ask me, I think that the better, more talented artist here is probably or the one that I like the best is Lip Sync. However,
However, that's not why we're here.
that's not why we're here.
Yeah. We're here to rip souls and
I think
destroy lives, Matt.
we're gonna destroy these poor people's lives, and I
Yeah.
gotta be on board with that.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to say the Proclaimers have the better second song here.
Wow. Yep. See, now I agree. And my thing is this, I was going to make the point of saying Funkytown beats I'm going to be in whatever the hell this other song is. When it's not in front.
I'm on my way.
I'm on my way. It beats him with a wooden bat. But that's not why we're here. The better band that I don't think deserves the title of one hit wonder is the Proclaimers. It's just a
Fair
better
enough.
formula. It sounds
Yeah.
better. It didn't shock me, as like a ooh kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, they have a much longer career, which
Massive.
bodes well for the staying power. And
Yeah,
you could chalk up, the detriment or the demise of a band like Lip Sync to the fall of disco, sure. But a lot of those bands were able to kind of like, transfer their skills over to something more, new wave or rock or something like that. Like they
something, sure.
didn't stick with it. But as the story goes with a band that's proficient in one genre and that genre dies out, they die out as well.
Mhm.
So, they had 3 albums. Maybe they're good. I don't know. Probably not going to listen to them. Honestly, I should. If I'm saying Funkytown is one of my favorite songs, I should probably go and listen to their whole
Give them
discography.
a
But I'm not
listen.
going to do that.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna do that shit.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm probably also not going to listen to the Proclaimers' whole discogaphy. In fact, I know
I
I'm not
want to
going
listen to this record though.
the Sunshine on the Lathe.
On Life. Yeah,
On Lathe.
I wanna give it a go and just see what else they had on the record. I bet
We
it's good if
we got
it's
to talk
any
about
bit
this
like
album
it.
cover, man. We got to talk
Oh.
about these boys' boot wrangler jeans here.
Oh boy.
It's an extremely blue tinted cover with like just their prominent booty cheeks showing. Like they just got their
Yeah.
backs turned to us. And oh
Little
man, where did they get those tight cut jeans?
she's got this tight little yeah,
Like
that's
a
it.
spider, just like a bug. We should all just get one big hug.
Look out! Whoo! Here comes the spider man.
Yeah. All right. So that's it. I think yeah, it's safe to say we're on the same page with this one. The Proclaimers
Yeah.
are the winner, which means that the poor lip sync boys and girls,
Mm-hmm.
they deserve the title one hit wonder.
One hit wonder.
And it's
We done it.
unfortunate. We done it. We did it. It's in the
We
bag.
did it. It's in the
That's-
bag.
That's one for the boys and girls to send back home, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh man.
Right. We'll figure out what we're gonna talk about next week.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll
Yeah,
probably
so
figure it out 30 minutes beforehand.
I'm sure we'll figure it out, man. I'm sure we'll figure it out. That's the way life goes.
You don't have to worry about it, man.
Yeah, man. You ain't even gonna worry about it, man.
Yeah. It hit me. We didn't do the thing. Another thing that we do. I haven't. So I logged into our Instagram for the first time. The One Hit No Wonder Pod at Instagram. I believe it's One Hit No Wonder Pod. but it may not be. It could just be One Hit Wonder. But look it up. You'll see it with our logo there. I'm going to start posting some things little by the time that the episode comes out, I will have dropped some hints and such on the socials that will be, we're coming back. We're coming back with a vengeance. But yeah, I don't remember the Gmail.
The Instagram is just One Hit No Wonder, by the way. I just looked it up.
One Hit No Wonder
It's
on
just-
Instagram.
Yeah, title of the show, no pod. Throw that out. Throw it
No
away.
pod. Okay, so that means the One Hit No Wonder pod at
Is the
gmail.com.
Yes,
That's the
correct.
Gmail. So yeah, we used to say, if you got something to say, whether it's nice or nasty, send us an email. We'll read it, we'll laugh at it, we'll talk about how silly you are or nice you are.
Unless you're, like a racist or something, then I won't.
Yeah, and then we'll put you on blast. We don't do that. You know how we destroy careers and lives of these bands that are one-hit wonders.
We'll do the same thing to you.
Do
You
the
better
same thing
believe
to
it.
you.
We'll destroy your life.
You're gonna like the way you look.
You send us a nasty email about racism, we'll
Yeah,
destroy
that's
you.
right. We don't do that here.
We don't
You
stand
go
for
to
that.
the best thing I can tell you to do is to go to your room.
Go to your
I was expecting a little more soundboard. Does Scott have anything to say?
Well,
About
I just
these
wanted
bands?
to. I wanted to ease back into it. Does Scott have anything to say?
You know what? I didn't realize it, but you said like fast. What was the clip you used at the beginning of the episode?
Which one?
It was like strike or
Strikeout?
something. I don't think it was but you used Scott, and I didn't even mention that that's something that you used prior to me putting my Scott Stapp song out there. So you can tell how low-key obsessed we are with that man. We love a good Scott Stapp. I still
He's a
have a
good
present.
fella.
My brother gave me a present like 3 years ago of a signed Scott Stapp portrait. And it sits
Sure.
by my
I
bed.
forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's on my shelf over there. I'm looking right at him. This is for you, Scott.
See him every day. I
See him
see
every
her
day.
every day.
That's right.
Girl of my dreams.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think I know the perfect song to go out on. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for sticking with us. I think we'll probably get back into a fun little rhythm here. This was fun. It's a good time.
Great time.
I
Had a great
enjoyed
time.
it.
It's good to be back.
It is nice to be back. We will be back very soon. So please, drop us a line. Follow us on all the socials, and we will see you next week. Nolan, any closing thoughts? All right.
Well,
Bulletproof, adrenalize, burning up, polarized. I'm the roar, the battle cry, screaming out, it's my life. It's my time, my fight. I'm unstoppable, I'm unbreakable. It's my